Hello again. We're trying a little bit of everything these days just to give variety and to, catch up. I think there's a lot of stuff I have to go through here. Tonight, we are outside here. It's just another beautiful evening, but you're gonna hear the sound of the birds and maybe some of the air conditioning systems and maybe some airplanes in the background. But that's all in a good, nice evening on a Sunday night in Larchmont. This is another wine from my friends at Relic, but this is 100% Mourvèdre, which is quite unusual. Mourvèdre is something that's kind of interesting for me, and Hanny's gonna laugh, I'm sure, because I really didn't used to like it very much at all. I found it just, I used to find it a little kind of bitter and harsh and unfriendly. And maybe I've been drinking the wrong wines, and I think primarily it was that impression that Mourvèdre is also called Monastrell in Spain. So you get it in some of these Spanish wine, like from the Jumilla region, like Juan Gil and others. They make a lot of 100% Monastrell, and some of my experiences with these wines was just not very pleasant. So I kind of wrote off Mourvèdre for a while, kind of like I wrote off Merlot, and we know that has changed a lot recently. But in any case, Relic makes a GSM blend called Ritual that has about up to 30% Mourvèdre in it, and that I like a lot. So that stayed in the back of my mind. Also, as we know, in the Chateauneuf region, there's some wines that are incredibly good that have, 20-30% Mourvèdre. So it works in a blend. But then lately, this is only the second year, Mike at Relic has been making 100% Mourvèdre cuvée from the Moon Mountain Vineyard, which they were able to secure only 2 years ago. This is their second vintage, 2019. And it's up in the mountains in the Mayacamas, mountain range on the western side of Napa, volcanic soil, tough, broken down rocks. So the vines get to be quite deep and quite complex. And it's just a kind of a different nature. And so I figured if Mike's doing it, it's got to be good. So I bought some this year for the first time. I just got them, and I know it's very, very young, but I really couldn't wait to try it and taste it and see if this is something I could really get into, because then maybe, I'll buy more in the future, and that's the kind of stuff you learn about. So here we are. This is 100% Mourvèdre, as I said. It's native yeast, aged in neutral oak for 15 to 18 months. They don't make a lot of I think maybe 50, 60 cases. Again, a lot of the production of a lot of their wines is very limited. By the way, also another thing had helped me change my mind on Mourvèdre is when we were in Paso Robles earlier this year, two wines that we've talked about really changed my mind. At dinner, we had a wine that was a Mourvèdre from 2014. I forget the name. It wasn't called the Mourvèdre. It was called something else. They have these funny names they come up with. It was just incredible, and I ended up buying, some of it. And at L'Aventure, one of their cuvées has quite a high percentage of Mourvèdre in it, and it was really dramatically different, and to me, really, really good. And I could tell it was because of the Mourvèdre, because I compared it to another similar blend with a lot less Mourvèdre. So that sort of got me thinking again. Anyway, this is a little bit more background, but here we go on this wine, and let's see what we have. Again, it's very young, but I don't think I'm gonna regret it, because some of the comments and some of what Mike said about it really supports drinking it early as well. You look at the color, it's quite red. It's not as pink as a Grenache maybe or a Syrah in terms of the violet color. It has a little bit of a purple edge to it. It's sort of red and purple, I would say. Really, you got both of that. But it's pretty dense, pretty dark from that point of view. On the nose, it's just a lot of candied red fruit, so candied cherry, I would say, like cherry candy. So to me, it was more fruit, really, at this point on the nose. It's a lot of fruit, which is what you would expect in a young wine. And some alcohol, the sort of mentholated, aromas that come through. This is a 14% alcohol, so, respectable. Let's just see what we have. really, it's really an interesting blend. You've got herbs, you've got fruit, you've got a little bit of that sort of licorice, or that you get from these soils, like these granitic and volcanic soils in Spain. You get that bitterness that I did complain about before, but here somehow it seems to hold everything together and give it structure. So otherwise it doesn't go nuts, you know, on the fruit. So it's just a really nice envelope that's holding all these different flavors together. It is, and it's young, but it's just beautiful right now. I think in 10 years it will still be very good, but it will be very, very different. And again, it's not about what's better and what's worse. It's about, okay, can you enjoy it now, or would it be closed? It's not closed. It's very enjoyable. And it's really this just interesting orchestra of flavors. I don't think this is going to close down. It doesn't have the kind of wood élevage to push it to do that. So this is wine that we probably can enjoy continuously for a number of years. Anyway, cheers, and see you soon.